All right.
Are we recording now?
We are.
All right, my team, if you're watching this, where are you? Get on these live calls. Okay, the recordings are awesome, but 90% of the people who say, I'm going to watch the recording, they never do. Trust me, they never do. Kevin says he does, and I believe you, Kevin, but there's nothing like the energy of a live call. So get here on these live calls.
But let's see, they're not going to watch the recording anyway, so they're not even going to hear your message.
Just in case they do, just in case, I got to leave that message.
Yes, and I have 4 new coaches, and none of them are on the call either, so shame on you guys, all right?
Greg and I mean, you know, we do take our time out of our day to do these calls to help everyone, all the new coaches, you know, so, and we do them every week, right, Greg? Every Monday. We have our team calls, you know, we take the time to do this. So it's, you know, I really appreciate everyone right here who's on this call again. I wish we can fill it up, wish we can get more people.
Okay, so tonight...
Guilt trip over.
Yep. So tonight we're going to talk about inviting. And has anybody been on the call? I know, Wendy, you've been on the call before when we talked about inviting. Anybody else?
No.
Yep. Okay. So the first thing that I want to talk about is social media do's and don'ts. All right. So, you know, in order to prepare yourself for inviting, you have to first prepare your social media presence, okay? Whether that's, you know, Instagram or Facebook or you know, whatever platform that you're using, right? I know, like Tom said, he's going to start a like page. That's cool because that's like fresh and new, right? You can design it the way you want to design it. You can put content on there that you want to put on there. But like our Facebook pages, you've had those for years, your existing profile, right? So what do you have on that profile, right? So, and what is your profile picture? Is your profile picture of your dog, you know, or your kids, or of, you know, a flower, you know? I mean, it needs to be of you, right? Because this is your business. This is your profile. You are setting yourself up to be a public figure, right? To be successful in this business. You want to have a picture of you, right? An advertisement of you. Like, what are people buying into? They're buying into you, not your kids, not your dog, you know, whatever. Also, you want to make sure you're public, right? It's like owning a storefront, right? It's like if you had a storefront, you don't want the doors locked and the shades pulled, right? It's like you got to be open to everyone. So you got to open yourself up, you know, become public. Go through your timeline, your pictures, remove anything, hide anything that is controversial, right? So if you still have stuff from the election, get rid of it. You know, politics is a no-no, right? Because you're immediately going to, you know, piss off half of America, no matter what you say. Okay, so you know, you have your opinion. You know, you have the right to your opinion and your beliefs, but just keep it to yourself. You know. Let's see what else. If there's anything that you don't want people to see, like, but you want to keep, you know, maybe like pictures, baby pictures or something. If you don't want to share those with people, for example, what you can do is you can just you can create a list like of close family members and friends. You know, Facebook allows you to create lists and assign your friends to different lists, and then you can assign photo albums to that list. Okay, or if you want to make a post just for your family, you can just share a post with your family, you know, because it's normally set to friends only or public. Now you're going to want to start posting to public. But if there is something that you just want to share with your family, you can just set the whatever, who can see it, to be, you know, your family, your close family and friends or whatever. So go through your timeline, clean it up, make sure you have your profile picture. You know, don't share anything that's controversial. So those are just things that'll help you get started, you know, with inviting. And then we want you to start, if you haven't already, we want you to start sharing every single day on social media, okay? So you may say, what do I share about? Okay, so start by creating a list of 5 to 10 things that define you, you know, that you're interested in. So maybe you're a mom or a dad. Maybe you're a wife. Maybe you have interests in Disney and, you know, you collect something another. Maybe you love pugs, you know, the dogs, you know. Maybe you love cats. You know, maybe you love to watch sports, or maybe you love to ride motorcycles, or maybe you love biking. You know, come up with your list of the 5 to 10 things that that make you different, right? That make you unique, right? Because that's who you're going to. Jen, what's so funny?
My husband heard you say maybe you like to ride motorcycles, and he totally has motorcycle fever right now, so he's in the background like, yeah!
There you go. Well, that's great because, you know, let's say he loves motorcycles and everybody knows that he loves motorcycles, you know, so he's going to attract people that like motorcycles too, right? And if he became a coach, right, and let's say all he started posting about was Beachbody and his workouts, then, you know, people, yeah, are going to be like, nah, where's all the motorcycles? You know, I've been following you for years because I would love to see your motorcycle, right? So that's why, you know, fitness, if you love fitness or if you love Beachbody, that's just one of your, let's say, 5 things. You know, if you come up with a list of 5 things, you know, fitness and health, that's one of the 5. So you got to make sure you're posting about the other 4, you know. If you follow top coaches, they will post 3 to 5 times a day. I guarantee you, like most top coaches, especially women, you know, who have huge Facebook followings, will post 3 to 5 times a day. And if you watch them, they'll always be posting about something different, right? I mean, like one post will be about their workout or whatever, but then they'll post about what they're eating and what they're doing and what their kids are doing, and you know, and that way they attract people, right? Also, if you notice, a lot of top coaches, they have their banner set that represents them, right? Like your Facebook banner picture right at the top. You know, you could set it to a single picture, like a lot of people do. They'll set it to like a vacation that they took or whatever, right? Which is fine. But a lot of coaches, like if you look at mine, you know, it represents me and what I am, right? So somebody could come to my page and they can look at that and they could see, oh, you're a father, you're a coach, you're, you know, whatever, right? You love cycling, you know, for me, or whatever, right? So it kind of defines me. And if you look at all the top coaches, you'll see something very similar to that, you know? And then if you click on that banner, there'll be like text, right, with the picture that tells you about myself and how you can connect with me, right? So that's a great strategy that you can do. Just start checking out some top coaches that you follow, that you like, that you connect with. And I mean, that's what I highly recommend. If you don't have any, or if you don't know any yet, well, you know, just start listening to the National Wake Up Call, right? You hear a different coach every single week, right? And, you know, some coaches, I mean, you might connect, like if you're a free spirit and you love tattoos and you would love to live on an island, you would connect with like Amy Silverman, right? But I mean, you know, if you're a mom, if you love fitness, if you have, you know, a bunch of little kids and you're business minded, you might connect with Melanie Mitro, you know? So figure out the type of person that you connect with and then start following them, you know? You don't have to friend them. You can just follow them on Facebook and watch what they do and look at their page and look at how they're posting and look at their banner and look at how they describe themselves and look at what they're doing. Like, are they offering a free group every month? How are they pitching their challenge groups? How are they inviting people? How are they talking about the coach opportunity every month? You know, that's how you learn, right? Because if you're just following me and Brian, well, we're not really your niche, right? I mean, we're not, you know, attracting probably the type of people that you want to attract, right? So you got to figure out, you know, how to do it, you know, better. So Brian, you want to talk a bit about inviting?
Okay. Excuse me. So last week we talked about that vital behavior, sharing, connecting, attracting, inviting, and now we're kind of breaking down that vital behavior. Greg just talked about how we share with people. We do it on social media, the right way to share. By the way, Greg went over the do's and don'ts. There's a file, and Greg will post it in the chat. I will also post it in my Facebook chat, and it lists out all the different do's and don'ts of social media posting. But so connecting, sharing, that's what you're doing 3 to 5 times a day. That's what you're doing with your posts. You're getting people to, you know, like them, comment on them, follow you. You know, they want to see your journey, and it's your whole life. Like Greg said, it's not just your workouts. I have a tendency to post a lot about my workouts and my nutrition, but my cats too. I do a lot of cat posts. You know, sometimes with my job, I'll post about that. You know, so it's you know, things that interest you, and then it's going to come time where you're going to make that post about a challenge group, a free group, something that is coming up. And that's when you're going to hit the inviting process, that final piece of that vital behavior, doing the inviting. The way that I do it when I'm running a free group, or even my paid groups, even my premier groups that I do, I invite from my personal Facebook page as well as my like page. What I do a couple different things. The first thing I do to attract new people that are not customers of mine, but are friends on Facebook, following me on my like page, is I create a Google form. Now, we're not going to go over that tonight, but if you want to Google form, and I know we have plenty of documents, we should add that to this document, Greg, or week 2, so we can maybe post something, find a good one. But I create a Google form, and instead of asking people like to message me or to comment on my posts, you know, if you want to join my challenge group, my free 14-day clean eating challenge, comment below. Instead of doing that, I send them to a form that they fill out. And it's a really quick form. It just asks for their name and for their email address. I change up the questions in each group. So I may have a question on there that says, you know, what's your biggest struggle when it comes to fitness and health? Where they can, you know, write their answer out. Sometimes I have a rating thing or a multiple choice where I ask them, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, when you wake up in the morning, how do you feel as far as energy goes, or how do you feel about your health? You know, things like that, and I let them answer it. So it's just a quick form. Google form is awesome, it's free, and then it sends the results to me so I can check and look, and I can see who's filling this out. I also ask a question if they are a Beachbody coach, because I don't really, you know, I'll reach out to them if a coach, but coaches don't usually fill it out. But, you know, or a customer, you know, I'll ask that question so I have that information. So that's how I do part of my inviting. The other part of that inviting process that I do is I create an event, a Facebook event. I create it for every single group that I do, whether the group's on the Challenge Tracker app, whether it's on Facebook, doesn't matter. I create a Facebook event. And then I put the link up for that event, and I have people join it. Now, a Facebook event is kind of like a group. But basically what it is it's like a commercial. It's like an advertisement. It's like saying, hey, you know, this is going to happen on such and such date. If you'd like to be a part of it, come join the event for it. And then this way I have a centralized place for all of the people that I know that want to be part of this group. So instead of having spreadsheet or trying to keep track and this and that, I just say, join this event. Plus in the event, I could post information about the upcoming group. So I want them to join the event, and I do it ahead of time, maybe a week before the group starts, maybe even before that, so that I can have them in there, and then I can post stuff in the event that is leading up to the group that's opening up. I'm sure all you guys have been part of Facebook events for many of my groups or Greg's groups, so you know what Facebook events are about. Personal messages. That's how I also invite as well. I will, if people are commenting on the post, I will send them a personal message, a Facebook message. Email is even better if I have their email address, but those are the people who fill out my form. I have their email address, so I can communicate now via email with them about the upcoming group, and trying to get an idea of where they are in their health journey and what they're looking for, what their goals are. So it's always better to communicate through email or through private Facebook messaging or any private social media messaging instead of communicating on your post. Where if someone comments, yeah, I'm interested, and then you comment back and you write this long thing, don't do that. If they say, yes, I'm interested, then you send them a private message about the upcoming group. Are we going to, where are we going to now, Greg?
You want to talk about the all access pass a little bit?
Yeah, let me, oh yeah, all right. Let me open this up. Oh, this is a great document. I love this document. Okay, so right now, you're inviting people to your events, you're sending them personal messages, you're getting them ready for this group that's coming up. You're talking to them about their goals, and now it comes time to say, okay, I got enough information, so now I'm going to message this person and let them know the package that I put together for them. What Beachbody program they're going to do. If we used to do it with the challenge packs, because you always want to include Shakeology and everything. We used to do it with the challenge packs where the program, say Insanity matched up to this person. So I would recommend the Insanity Challenge Pack or 21-Day Fix, 21 days. But now we have all access. We have Beachbody On Demand. So that's the only thing I recommend to everybody now. Makes it much easier too. Now I'll still recommend a program that is within, BOD, but I always recommend that all access Beachbody On Demand Challenge Pack, because you guys know, and right now it's on sale, and I think it's going to be on sale through August to $160. You guys are all BOD members, so you know the value that they're getting with Beachbody On Demand. I mean, you get everything. You get every single program, and this is what I tell them. I said, you get every single program. You get Shakeology, and the program that I choose for you is this program, and then I talk about that program. And then I talk about all the other things with Beachbody On Demand, like Autumn's Cooking Show Fixate, all the exclusive workouts that you're not going to get on a DVD or anywhere else. Sean Week, it's great now to talk about. There's 7 new Sean Week is going on right now, but once it's over, there's 7 brand new workouts that you can only get on Beachbody On Demand by Sean T. His latest workouts, there's 7 of them. So you talk about that, and make sure, like I said, you're talking about the all access, the whole package, and you're mentioning the support. So you're talking about you as their coach. You're talking about the challenge group. You're talking about the support that they're going to receive. Don't forget about that part of it, because remember the other vital behavior, proof of the product. That just doesn't mean programs and Shakeology. It means the whole community, the support structure that we have set up, our team. So that's the key thing, and that's why many people fail. And this is what I tell them, because they don't have that support. Fitness is easy. Nutrition, a little bit tougher, but it's also easy. Why do so many people fail? Because they don't have the support system in place. You guys know all about the support system. So this document, I don't know if Greg posted it, but I'm also posted in my chat. It's my favorite one that we have, because not only is it, it's the BOD All Access Script collaboration, how to explain to each type of customer about the All Access Challenge Pack. This gives you this document. It's a spreadsheet. There's a bunch of tabs on the bottom, so don't overlook that. There's tabs on the bottom, and it's all organized. It's written by top coaches. It shows you how to do new prospects. It gives you the messages that these coaches use, the actual messages that they send to people. So you don't want to do it word for word because you want to make it your own. Otherwise, if you just cut and paste, people can pick up on that, especially if it's people that know you. It's like, that didn't sound like Jennifer. What did it sound like? A sales pitch or something. So put it in your own words, but it gives you the template. It gives you everything here. It'll give you ideas. It'll give you aha moments. Okay, so make sure you check this out. It gives you examples of the social media posting for the All Access Pass, how to explain upgrade options, current customers, team posts, selling challenge packs. And that's just on one tab, but then it gives you lots of other stuff. So definitely, I love that it gives you like all the different coaches and what they say to people, because these are the coaches that are hitting Success Club 20, 30, 40. These are the coaches who are literally, selling everything and anything. So you got to listen to them. I get a lot of my stuff from here too when I talk to people, but once again, I put it in my own words.
Also, don't forget that Beachbody offers a 14-day free trial where people get everything, right? The only caveat is they have to enter their credit card information. So I know that scares a lot of people, right? But I just did you guys see the post that I made from Brooke Lipoff with the two choices that she gives? That was great, I thought, especially if you, like what I talked about is like, I'm going to start running a clean eating group, like a food group, for like 7 days, inviting friends to that. And then I'm going to offer them the 14-day trial, right? Because now they've learned to trust me enough that they would be willing to sign up for a free trial, right? Where they have to enter their credit card information. And then I'm going to give them a hybrid schedule, where they can sample a whole bunch of different workouts for 7 or 10 days or whatever, right? And then after they've had a chance to sample them, right, all for that week where we're doing them together, right, then I'm going to offer them to upgrade to the All Access Challenge Pack, right? So I think that's really a winning strategy. Like, have you guys, thought about running a free group? Has anybody tried inviting somebody to do the All Access Pass yet? No. So the All Access Pass is definitely what you want to lead with, right? Because it's got everything, right? And, if you know somebody is interested in Beachbody or is interested in losing weight or fitness or whatever, right? I mean, that's what you want to get them into is the All Access Pass. But, if people, let's say you made a post about it, right, and you didn't really get very many people interested, well then, what you want to start doing is you want to start with like a free group and inviting people to a free group. If you offered a 7-day clean eating group, right, don't you think a lot of your friends would want to join you? It's like, hey, I'm going to start this free group where I want everyone to come join us. We're going to keep each other accountable. I'm going to be posting recipes every day. I'm going to give you a shopping list and a meal plan if you want to follow it. If you don't, that's cool too. If you offered something like that to your friends, I bet you would have a lot of friends that would want to come join you, right? So, I mean, just plan it, we have a Google Drive that gives you the content for everything, right? I mean, I think we're gonna talk about that more next week.
Yeah.
But if you want it now, I mean, you certainly have it. We have a Google Drive that basically gives you everything that if you want like a crock pot challenge, if you want a grilling challenge, if you just want a clean eating, take your pick. There's literally hundreds to pick from. I know that my friend Brooke Lipoff, she just did a mason jar clean eating challenge. Because have you guys noticed that mason jars, like on Pinterest, are really popular now? she got 400 people to join her mason jar clean eating challenge. You know, her healthy, healthy, clean eat, and it was amazing. She made blueberry like pie in a mason jar, and it was, it looked fabulous. I mean, it was sugar free. It was, definitely a healthier version of blueberry cake or whatever, but it looked amazing, and she put like salad in there, and she put like noodles and other stuff, or zoodles, so but anyway, I mean, you can do a free group on anything that you want, just find something that's popular that people would be interested in, invite them all into this group, and then, you can design your own content, or you can take it from that document and just get people, to trust you and build that relationship with people and get to know people. I mean, because you might have people that you haven't talked to in years who start joining, so you got to reconnect with them, and you'll do that in the group, and you'll do the private messaging. And then just think like, then after that 1 week or whatever, and hopefully that gets them started and gets them in the right mindset and gets them to lose a couple pounds. And then you say, hey guys, I'm going to offer this, free trial with Beachbody where you can come sample out all the workouts that I'm doing every day and that you see me doing every day, right? Because they're following you on social media and they see that you're posting about this every day, right? So it's not news to them. Oh, what? You're like, yeah, I want to try that. So then you offer them the link for the trial, and you say, yep, you do have to enter your credit card information, but you won't be charged. And I promise I will remind you to cancel if you want to before the 14 days are up, right? Because your group's only going to be 7 or 10 days or whatever anyway, right? And then, create a hybrid schedule that they can do of different programs, and then, after that, 7 days. So now you've gone like 7 days clean eating, 7 days of fitness. Think of how many people, let's say you had 50 people in your group. How many people do you think would be ready to sign up with the challenge pack after that? I bet you at least 10%. That's SC10, right? That's what you want to do. And then just keep doing it every month, right? I mean, that's, but the key is you have to keep inviting, right? And that's what we're talking about, because you're going to create a lot of interest through your warm market. If you just start doing this and you just start inviting all your friends and family, you're going to get a lot of people that are interested, right? Because a lot of them, they already know you, they already trust you, but you gotta keep inviting and connecting, right? That was one of the vital behaviors that we talked about last week, right? You got to reach out, like Brian said. Was it last week, Brian? You're talking about reaching out to your previous, high school friends and college friends and people you work with, and connecting with all of those people, right? Something else that you can do is you can start connecting with people on Facebook and on Instagram that you don't know just through your interest, right? I had you create that interest list, right? So what you can do is, let's say you're interested in motorcycles, right? You can search for groups in Facebook for motorcycles, right? And you will find, I guarantee you will find groups with thousands of people in them, right? And you can just start going into those groups, making friends, adding friends, creating legitimate conversations and posts and stuff like that. If you're on Instagram, you can start searching hashtags. You can search, hashtag Harley Davidson, and I bet you're going to find a million, posts that you could just start, liking, following, and making friends, and then they're going to follow you back, and they're going to be not only interested in, I'm going to mute Kevin. I'm going to mute you up there. So they're going to start following you back, right? And so that they're going to see that, yeah, you're not only interested in motorcycles, but you're also interested in fitness. So then when you do next month's free group, right? So if you've added 50 new friends over the month, then next month when you do your free group, you can invite all 50 of those new friends to your group, right? So that's the way that works.
I think we totally went into week 3 with all this.
Did. But I think it's important to understand how the whole cycle works, right? It's you just can't like put blinders on and just say, invite, but you got to understand like who do you invite, right? And once you invite the 5 friends that you have, who do you invite next month? Right?
And let me take that a step further if we're going through the cycle here. Every successful coach that you see, their very first Facebook group that they created, they knocked it out of the park. They hit Success Club 20. They went to Diamond, and they made $1 million. No, doesn't happen that way. Most time, that first group that you create fails. Mine certainly did, big time, and I know Greg's did too. My second one as well. But this is what happens. This is the life cycle. This is the process of it. Just like doing anything, when you first do it, you're like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I have no idea. Like tonight, you're on this call and Jennifer's going, what? Facebook event? I don't even know how to create one of those. I got to post what? And then what happens when I'm in the group? This document that you shared with me, it's a process. It's a process. But if you keep saying those, and I don't mean to pick on you, Jen, I was just using you as an example. None of that was true. Forget. But what happens is the reason why people fail in this business is because those are the thoughts that go through their head. And then they say, well, maybe next week I'll be ready and I'll do this, and then next week comes and they say the same thing and the same fears are going through their head and the same, like, I don't know how to do this. People are not going to come. People are going to laugh. And this is just nuts. And those fears keep, and then you never do it. So the only surefire way to do it, even if you don't know how to do it, is just do it. It's really simple. You create a Facebook event. You get your first group. You just jump in and you do it. And what's going to happen is that next week we'll talk more about increasing, getting more friends on Facebook and social media. But now that we're talking about you're posting every day, 3 to 5 times a day, you're getting more traffic that's coming to your page. People are seeing you more and more on their timeline because you're posting a lot more. And you're talking about what interests you, and those people that are commenting and liking, you're gonna appear more in their timelines. So you're getting out there, and then you're gonna, do this group, and then you might get some people to come in, and this is your first time doing it, so you're gonna mess up and you're gonna make mistakes, but you're gonna have a document that you're gonna follow along with. So it's me and Greg. I didn't have any document. I just went by the cuff. Like, oh my God, but you're gonna have a document that you're gonna follow. So you're gonna follow it, and then you're gonna make mistakes, and then a week's going to go by and then the group's going to be over and you're going to go, oh my God, that was a disaster. What am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to do it again, and then you're going to do it again. And then you're going to get, more people in there, and then you're going to get better at it. And what we're doing here, and I know Regina, she's still on the call, Regina can relate to this, is we're like farmers. We are farmers. And what we're doing is we are planting our seeds out there, trying to get our crop to grow. So you're throwing the seeds out there. It takes a lot of work. You got to get the soil ready. You got to water it. You got to water the plants. They start to grow, the fertilizer. You have to take care of it. You're doing all this work, and it seems like, oh my God, and then a rainstorm comes and half your crop gets wiped out, and then you got to go back and you plant it, you grow. And then before you know it, you're ready to harvest. And when we say harvest, we're talking about all these people that are now coming to you and they're going into your premier groups and they're getting that BOD all access pass because they've been with you for, 3 or 4 free groups, and now they trust you. They've seen some results that you're giving. Plus in these free groups that you're doing, you're also talking about Beachbody and you're sharing Shakeology. You're not selling it. You're just, because it's part of you, you're sharing that stuff. So they're seeing it, and then you're doing your call to action and getting them. And after, they're going to say, you know what, Wendy, I'm ready. I've been in your free group for 3 times now. You guys seem to be having a lot of fun over in that premier group you keep talking about. So I'm ready to take the plunge, sign me up. How do I sign up? That is how it happens. And if you're increasing your numbers, like Greg said, you're running those free groups all the time, and you're getting new people in, and you're getting more friends on Facebook. Your numbers are increasing. You're doing it. It's just like that. Your field of crops, they're starting to grow. They're starting to grow. And then you harvest one field while you're planting in another field. And then you get into that routine and that rhythm. So it doesn't happen overnight. Okay, it takes time. But it never happens if you don't jump in and you start doing it. I mean, there's never going to be that perfect time where all of the stars align and you feel 100% ready, and then you're going to do it. That never will happen. That time will never, ever come, and you'll be waiting for it forever. You just have to do it. And we're here to help you do it. Greg and I are here to help you do it. We're here to help you get those free groups running. We do this 1 hour call. Wow, we're getting over time. But we do this 1 hour call, and then afterwards, Greg and I shut down, and you don't see us until next Monday at 8 o'clock, right? Isn't that right? No, we're here all the time. All the time. So you want to meet up one-on-one with me. I have my scheduler in our coach group. And we're here all the time to help you. So take advantage of it. Just do it. Objections? You want to go into this real quick when we get to that point where you're doing your call to action?
Sure. So, yeah, I mean, like you can do an invitation post now, right, where you invited somebody to your challenge group, right? Or you could personally invite people, or you could talk to somebody in person, right? Like Felix does, right? Just you could talk to them and invite them to get the All Access Pass challenge back and join your challenge group, right? The thing that you're going to hear is you're going to hear most likely their objections, right? Very, very rarely does somebody say, yes, sign me up. Where's the link? Give it to me. How do I order, right? A lot of times you're going to hear objections, right? Like, oh, I don't have time for that. Or the biggest one, I don't have money for that, right? So you just need to know how to handle those. And like a great way that I mentioned is, oh, no problem. You get it for free, 14 days. How can they say no to that, right? Even though they will, the money was just an excuse. It's not really about money, because they got money. If they want to buy that big screen TV, they'll find the money, and the money is just an excuse, right? They'll come up with another excuse. But a lot of times what I'll do is I'll say, well, if this month is not a good time for you, well, would it be okay if I follow up with you next month? And they'll always say yes. So I just put them on my list, right? I always have a list. So that's a key thing that we didn't talk about, is always work from a list, right? So if you're making new friends, they go on your list, right? So you're constantly following up with people on your list, right? So you're, even if you just make a friend, you make a connection, you want to make sure that you check out you like their stuff, you start commenting on their stuff, you start striking up a conversation with them, right? You can invite them to a free group in a couple weeks or whatever, right? So if you don't have a list, well, you'll forget tomorrow who you connected with yesterday, right? And then, once you get to that call to action with them, that, giving them that invite, they're going to give you objections, and then how you handle them, and then what you do with that person. I just move them from one list to another list, right? It's like, oh, they're no longer in my June list. I move them over to my July list, So I do that a lot. But one thing that you want to do, like even before you talk about price, one thing that I do is, even if you make a post about, is anybody willing to join me? Or, you don't say it that way. You say, I'm starting a summer slim down challenge, with doing Beachbody programs and, nutrition or something, along those lines, right? And like I said, if you follow top coaches, you'll see how they word it, what pictures they use. You just make a similar post, and you're going to get people that are interested, right? So before you even get to the point of saying, hey, do you want to buy this challenge pack from me? And they're going to say how much, and you're going to say $160, and then they're going to go, whoa, no, you just start a conversation with them and say, great, I'm glad you're interested. Let's talk about your goals, right? That's how you want to start, right? Tell me about why. Why do you want to do this? Oh, you're looking to lose weight. Why are you looking to lose weight? Oh, I've got, a vacation coming up, or I've got a wedding coming up that I want to get into. Great. I can certainly help you with that. Tell me about what what exercises you've done in the past. What clean eating are you currently having? What are you currently struggling with? Oh, they're struggling with sugars and eating a lot of carbs. Okay. Well, I've got a perfect solution for you. So you've told me that you like cardio, right? You've told me that you struggle with this type of nutrition, and you told me that you have terrible cravings, right? So I would recommend, Beachbody has a ton of programs. If you get their all access, you get all their programs. But, some that might interest you is like Insanity Max 30, or, you can make suggestions to them. And then you told me about your cravings, right? So you can then recommend Shakeology, right? Oh, by the way, it comes with Shakeology, right? And that will help reduce your cravings. It'll fill you up. It's a meal replacement shake that I love. You can try it for 30 days and you're getting it like half price, right? And so that kind of handles a lot of the objections before you get them, right? Because you're answering their objections with their why and what the information that they've already told you, right? Before they could even give you, right? It's like, oh, I don't have time. Well, do you have time for a 30-minute workout? How about a 22-minute workout? You got time? How about a 10-minute workout? You got time for a 10-minute workout? Okay, I got a program for you, 10-minute trainer. So you can certainly do that. A lot of objections that you'll get, I like to use the feel, felt, found method for handling that. And basically that's your empathizing with them. Like, hey, I know how you feel, right? I felt the same way. And this is how I overcame that objection, right? It's like, yeah, I felt the same way. Like, hey, I feel Shakeology is expensive, right? I would say, I felt the same way. That's why when I originally looked into it, I researched it. I tried a whole bunch of different shakes on the market. I tried the Walmart one. I tried, I tell them about like the Slim Fast that I tried and the other ones, right? I said, they're garbage. It's like they taste like garbage. You look at the ingredients, it doesn't have anything that compares to Shakeology. It doesn't have the 70 superfoods. Look at how it's sourced. It has stuff that you can't pronounce. It's got artificial flavors, and I tell them all this, right? And so so then they say, well, it's so much more expensive than the GNC protein that I get. And then I say, well, it's not protein shake, right? So, but you don't have to have all the answers. If you can use the feel, felt, found, right? It's like you can empathize with them. You can tell them what you did and how you felt the same way, and then how you overcame that objection, right? It's like, yeah, I didn't have the 160 to begin with, so I had to, save, for a month, and then I was able to get it, or something like that. So Brian, you have anything on objections before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I had to step out for a second there. I don't.
I talked about the price objection and the feel, felt, found objection handling.
I'll mention that going back to what I was talking about before with connecting with people, inviting. Whenever I have a group, like I told you guys, I post that Google form so people can fill out. And I also use that for ammunition for myself, for lack of a better word. So when I get that objection if somebody fills out that form and I have that question on there that says, how do you feel in the morning? First thing in the morning when you wake up, You know, you have a lot of energy. On a scale of 1 to 10, you know, how great do you feel? You know, and people will put, you know, 3, you know, or 10 being the best and 1 being, you know, I don't even want to get out of bed. 10 being I'm out of bed and I'm confident, and you know, and they'll put a 3 or 4, you know, or something. And then when it comes time for that objection, that it's like, well, you know, I don't have the money, or it might sounds like this is going to take a lot of time. You know, then I say, well, listen, you told me that when you wake up in the morning, you rate yourself a 3 as far as energy goes, and or maybe the question was your overall health. How do you feel about it? And you put a 2. You put a 2. I want to get you to a 7, an 8, a 9, a 10. That's what I'm going to do. This is what we're doing. You know, so that's another thing that I fall back on. That's another reason why I have that form. And then a lot of times, you know, people will say, they'll be like, you know, you're right. I really do want to get, can you explain it to me again? How does it work? Can you explain everything? You know, and then there's that other opening now to explain the value of what they're getting and the value of the group that they're going to be joining.
Yeah, in that one post that I made from Brooke Lipoff, she used the form to take them, I think, from the free group, the clean eating group, into the exercise group, right? She had them fill out a form, and she used something called type form. So there's like Google Forms, there's something called a Wufoo form, and there's a type form. Those are just different websites for creating forms, and I believe that they're all free. I know that the Wufoo and the type form give you like different backgrounds and stuff like that. But anyway, I thought her form was very interesting. And then she used all the answers to create them a customized recommendation, right, that she gave them in a PDF, right? So it was one of the posts that I made last week, but I thought
that was awesome. Yeah, I saw what she does with that recommendation.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
yeah,
that's what I need to be doing. I mean, that was another aha moment for me, and I'm going to do it. That is something that I'm going to be working on, creating something, because if somebody was to send that to me, if I was new and I would, you know, talking to her, and then she was to send that to me, I would be like, this girl knows what she's talking about. So yeah. I'm doing this.
Yeah. It looked really professional, didn't it? So, yeah, I mean, and then she gave them an email along with it that was all customized to them. So it was a great example. So if you didn't see it, just go back and look for that post, you know.
Before we wrap up, I know I talked to my people last week in the group about success partners. So does everyone have one? Jen? Who's your? It's Kevin, right? Or am I? Yes. Jen and Kevin. Wendy, who's your success partner? I don't know if Wendy can hear us. Kathleen, success partner? I can take you guys off of mute. Oh, I can't. Greg's the. Can you hear me, Kathleen? Can you take her off mute, Greg?
Oh, sure. I was looking for Kathleen. I see a T-A-K.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Taklini.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There you go.
I wasn't here last week.
Okay, in the chat though, we didn't talk about it on the call. In the chat, I wrote about success partners. That's okay if you didn't see it. We'll hook you up with one.
Okay.
Wendy, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm linked up with Samara.
Yes, Samara. All right, awesome. And LaDonna, we got to find you one.
You got me one?
Yeah, Kathleen.
Oh.
Hey,
See how quick, see how quick that was? If you guys want to hook up now, I explained to you guys in the chat, but I don't know if Tom, you'd probably success with Felix, I would imagine maybe, or one of your other coaches. But your success partner is somebody that you don't have to do all of this stuff that we're talking about alone. somebody who is kind of at your same level of coaching. So Wendy, you would not want to be a success partner with Brett, because what he's doing is a lot different than what you're going to be doing. But you'd want to be a success partner with LaDonna because you guys are both at the same level. You're both starting, groups together for the first time or whatever, and you're both learning together. So a success partner is, extremely, extremely important. And what I recommend is that you have your own chat group, just